Welcome to The Daily Grind, a Bluff City Media daily podcast. Stepping up to the microphone is your host, Luke Hatmaker. Grab your favorite morning brew and let's get to the show.
Closing time. One last call for alcohol. So finish your whiskey or beer. Boom, bop, boop, 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 da. Welcome to the Daily Grind. I am your host, man. See, when I sing songs that are in my vocal range, it's not awful for everyone.
Yeah, I would say that was pretty good. That's the best you've done since I've been over here.
Parrish is like, all right.
Yeah, not bad.
Oh, I love it. Welcome to the Daily Grind. I'm your host, Luke Hatmaker. I got Parrish and I got Uncle Buck with me. How we doing, fellas? We doing good on this lovely Monday?
Yep. Yeah, real good, man. Woke up this morning.
Right.
Still
Dude,
living. Okay.
I love that. I tell everybody, I'm like, well, I woke up today. That's better than some folks.
Yeah.
You know?
Could be worse.
Could be much worse.
We could be homeless.
We could. Ooh,
That's true.
That is
I saw
true.
some people driving yesterday. Yeah, that's very true.
I'm sorry. If there's one thing that comes out of the series of this season, it better not be that quote. Like,
No, it's coming.
It's coming.
That's that we're finding the West quote for this year.
Oh gosh.
Oh, yep.
That's
Yep. Man, if there's one thing that the Grizzlies know how to do, it's how to say a quote that doesn't age well. For those of you who the season is over, let's say that the Grizzlies lost. We're not going to talk about the game that much because I don't want to. But I do want to put the score up here. The Grizzlies lost 115 to 117 to the Oklahoma City Thunder. In series is over. Oklahoma City is advancing. Grizzlies season is done. Exit interviews were yesterday. Where do you Parrish? You were there.
No,
You weren't there.
I got church on Sundays.
Oh. That's right.
My Twitter
What
was
day is
blowing
it?
up my pocket. And I was like, stop. I'm
Oh,
up here
yeah.
trying to play the bass. And it's just blowing up. Why are they doing a exit interviews at 10:30 on a Sunday?
Why are they doing them at that time? Because I just assumed that they would.
Because they lost on Saturday and they were at home. So I guess that's
So that's okay.
just the next day. Yeah.
That makes
Can they do it? If
They
was
weren't
on the
going to
road,
wait
they
till
would've
3
did it
o'clock in the
one day.
afternoon. Those guys
Yeah.
had something in their hand and toes in the sand by 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yep.
They took all day. They were there from. They didn't finish until 3. Jaden Wells was the last person at 3 o'clock. So
Now, why you guys do that to me?
Wait,
I mean, it's on Twitter, so I bet.
Parrish, I will say,
Sure.
days like yesterday made me miss the coverage that you do, sir, because
I missed it too myself.
like, oh my
missed
God, man, like you never know what you got till you're in church. I'll tell you that much, because you were in church and I was like, oh my God, I miss Parrish. I can't handle any of this other crap that you're the guy.
Yeah, because I was just gonna post a whole, because when I haven't done, I'd be posting like just clips. I was just gonna post a whole, because they move quick and easy, like the exit and media day interviews. So I was just gonna post the whole interviews, and I was gonna do a thread, just post after what they got done.
They'll probably do that, right?
News Channel 3 has started doing it. You follow my guy Colin Cody.
Typically, all the post game interviews and stuff, they end up eventually posting them in full, but.
You're talking about Memphis Grizzlies page.
Let's do our own little, like, let's put our heads together and do our own little exit interview. So let's after the game on Saturday, what day is it? I feel like we played all 4 of these games in 1 week, which maybe that
they
did we really? God,
game 1 was Sunday.
What
game
the hell
was
is
last
that?
Sunday.
The other teams are just, I digress. What's neither here nor there. The Rockets just played game 3 the same game we played game 4. Whatever. It's fine.
I'm glad they didn't stretch it out.
You're just ready. You're ready for it to be over. So what do you leave the game? Rusty was there. You say you're Rusty, and you walk out of the stadium on Sunday. No, Saturday. Jesus, my days are so confused. What is it that what's the first thing that you're Zach Kleiman? Zach Kleiman was the first one set down for the interview. What did you think about what he said? Because let's just start there. We'll just kind of like after Zach Kleiman sat down after that loss and started talking and started saying things like, we should have signed Jake LaRavia. That was a mistake. Uncle Buck. What was your first thought? He finishes all of his talking. What are you sitting there thinking, Parrish?
So we would have lost by 30 instead of 50 in game 1 with Jake LaRavia. I guess so.
It was kind of funny that was one of the
that
things
was the one.
I mean, I'm
like,
kind of with Parrish. I love Jake LaRavia, but I mean, we still losing 4.
It felt like he was like, and this one's for Uncle Buck. I wanted to keep Jake Lorette. It felt like, why were we asking?
Oh, captain, my captain.
Were we asking you about Jake Laravia? It's like you went out of your way to say that. Oh, and by the way, we shouldn't have gotten rid of Jake Laravia.
Please post a careers comment. That's the epitome of this.
Oh man,
Where am I thinking though?
Yeah, because I heard a lot of talk.
I'm thinking that I fooled myself to think I had a big 3.
Yeah,
I really got a big 1.25.
Ooh, yeah, yeah.
I mean, it hurts to hear, but I try and I pride myself on saying something and then sticking with it, and I feel like I'm right about this. But this whole season, I've said it regarding Taylor. I've said it regarding the big 3. Everybody at this point in the timeline, success and failure on a team, an organization, and a player level is dependent on how you do in the postseason. That's where we're at. Jaren's just finished year 7, Ja year 6, Desmond year 5. It's not good enough. And for the first time in this trajectory, you've seen at least 2 games where 2 3/4 of a third game, you've seen Ja be absolutely amazing in the playoffs. You've seen that before. No worries.
Mm-hmm.
The other 2, I don't know, man. Like, and I know that you've got to roll it back, and I am pro run it back with those big 3. It's your only option, and I don't think it's a bad option. But they've got to be better, and they've got to have a little help. I mean, it's this playoffs. You're guaranteed 4 games against the same opponent in a row. This was my thing with Edey, and it's my thing with any rookie. Like, you've got to you got to shine in that. You've got to have something that you do differently than what you normally do. You've got to have multiple tricks in the bag. And you just saw Jaren and Desmond just get played for fools for 4 games. Yeah. And they couldn't do anything else with it. They couldn't do anything about it. That's the frustrating part.
Yeah, because when you think about the money, Desmond Bain is getting paid the most money on the team.
Yes.
So for him to get outplayed by Scottie Pippen Jr., who's getting paid $30 million less than him, and I know the defense. And I know defense. Yeah, exactly. And I know the defense is keyed in on them, but you're getting paid the big bucks, right? You're the big 3, the top 3. We need to come up with another name because
it's not fair.
I think the
big 3.
No, yes, I know. Stop calling the big 3. We need to come up with something else. Just I don't know.
I mean,
we'll come up with something this offseason.
Kleiman was. I mean, when they asked Kleiman about the big 3 after talking about Ja, talking about Jaren, they asked him about the big 3 and his thoughts on them, and he talked about Zach Edey playing college. Like he did not want to talk about Desmond Bain. So I'm with you. What's another name? We got to think of something better. We can trademark it. Where
it's not everybody else outside the Grizzlies. I feel like know what the big 3 means. And when we say big 3, we don't mean LeBron, Wade, and Bosh here.
No.
We don't mean KG, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen.
Yeah.
We just mean that is the 3 that the cornerstones of this franchise. The 3 we will live and die by. That's as currently constructed.
San Antonio Spurs, big 3. Manu Ginobili was a 6th man of the year. He wasn't even one. You want to talk about a big 3? It was Parker, Ginobili, Duncan. You know, Ginobili transferred to the bench and became a perennial 6th man of the year. Changed the trajectory of that franchise. I'm not saying that's what Dez needs to do. I don't know if Dez.
Hey, Saints just there this season.
Yeah, I think that he could be the second coming of Manu Ginobili.
Having a person getting paid $30 million come out the bench just don't feel just don't sound right to me.
That's the thing. It's the money. You want someone making $15 million coming off the bench playing like Manu Ginobili. You don't want.
I would say this though: if Desmond Bain come out the bench, he'll still play the same minutes. So I think that's my whole thing about the bench versus starter argument. He probably still gonna finish the game. So you basically just don't want him starting the first 6 minutes of the game. What's the difference between that and him still playing the same amount of minutes? Because he still plays mostly with the bench lineup when they come in.
Yeah, he's still
gonna do the same thing off the bench. I don't really know how the minutes distribution would change. It would still be the same. So it's like
it wouldn't.
Yeah.
one thing that my dog is over here squeaking. He said, Kleiman kept saying we unintentionally double down, or maybe not double down. We unintentionally had to rely on youth.
He needs to stop capping.
They need it bad, and I don't know. Like you see it.
Maybe he tried to attempt some trades, but you drafted 3 rookies. Yeah, you could say Jaden. You could say Jaden Wells. Won the job over Marcus Smart due to injuries and stuff like that. But you still drafted 3 rookies, so you got younger.
And you still were relying heavily on Gigi and Vince, and he openly admitted that yesterday too.
Yeah. 2 things there. Like, I get part of what he's saying. He did not. Nobody intended Jalen Wells to contribute to this team. But Jalen Wells blew our socks off and made it undeniable. Props to Jalen Wells. But then you salary dumped Marcus Smart for nothing. Marcus Smart and LaRavia, for that matter, for nothing. For Marvin Bagley, who didn't play.
Better play.
And so if you're talking about getting younger, Marcus Smart's the only dude on that team that had ever won anything. And I'm not even advocating for Marcus Smart. I quit advocating for him playing, but you got to have him there. Like, that was a decision that was made. And the other thing with Kleiman too, like, props, I guess, for admitting your mistakes. But good Lord, can we have an exit interview with Zach Kleiman that's not riddled with him apologizing for something that he did wrong?
Yeah, it's hard to take him seriously at this point when we're at how many. It's like you can have an off season, you can make all these really good moves on the margins, but when you're at the podium complaining, or not complaining, but just apologizing to everyone about, hey, it's on me for 4 years in a row. How many years do we go without being like, brother, you've been telling us it's on you for 4 years in a row. 4 years in a row.
Yeah. And he messed up. And he messed up the coaching stuff. Like, think about it. I understand the PR. You had bad PR from firing Taylor Jenkins late in the season anyway. But last year, you obviously had planned to move on.
You made your mind. Your mind was made up last year.
You did the last offseason instead of waiting until 9 game stuff. And he bunkered that whole thing. Like,
he ruined this season from the start. That's when the Taylor Jenkins move was made. I firmly planted. I talked about the pie chart a lot. However you divide up your pie charts, up to you. But the only person who's wrong is it blames 100% on any one person or entity within this organization.
No, it's fine.
When he fired when he undercut Taylor Jenkins, he should have fired him then.
Yeah, when he fired his whole staff,
divided the locker room, and then and just subverted any authority that he had, and it resulted in his best player bailing on him. So he had to fire him at that point. But then Tomas comes in, and there was no possible way for him to come out of this smelling like roses. Exactly. So you tanked him. Your next guy, by undercutting Taylor Jenkins, firing his staff, and bringing in this guy from Paris, you screwed Taylor Jenkins. And then because you screwed Taylor Jenkins, you screwed the next guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he cannot hire Tomas. It's not his fault, but he can't.
He ain't gonna be good.
He just can't.
You after you can't give the dude the runway that he had to see what you got, and this is what you just can't. I agree with you. You know what you have, and it's
you gave him a little bit of runway, but the runway looked like a Memphis interstate. It was just and you can't be mad at him for finishing on 2 tires here.
No, that's a good one.
You can't
put down the shirt. Put down the shirt. Put down the shirt.
You gave him a runway. It looks like a Memphis interstate. It's so true, Drew, because like you can't undercut the man, make him gut his staff, bring in his replacement, and then expect the man to coach a full season with his replacement sniffing down his neck, losing his whole staff, and then all the while you've got this gap building between the GM and the head coach, a la Denver, where he's not playing Edey. It's like whatever pettiness was going on there.
Right. There were no grown-ups in the room.
No grown-ups in the room. And
that's
then
for sure.
Tomas is up there just like, English is my second language. I'm going to do my best to get up here and explain how the hell I'm supposed to coach this team. Like I'm doing the best to coach the team that I am given, but you have given me an absolute shit show to work with. And it's like, he can't get the job. He can't now. Like the fan base has lost complete and total faith in the man, whether that's fair or not. That's what's happened.
And you know what? Since we're on it, like Taylor Jenkins choked as well because he knew his job was on the line too.
Yeah.
Like
yes.
total choke job all the way around. Like,
yes.
All the way around. And this season, I will remember it as being a total front office failure because the roster construction was not good enough. And then you started playing chess and mind games with coaches. And if your roster's not good enough and you don't have your coaches back, then like you might as well just expect exactly what you got.
Yeah.
And then you throw in injuries on that and a superstar that, whether it's fluke or not, just can't stay healthy.
Wrong moments.
Yep.
I wrote an article about that. He's got hurt in every big, like he always playing when he get hurt. He got hurt. Gold State. The play-in game against Gold State this year. The game 3 when they were playing their best against Golden State 3 years ago. Game 2 against the Lakers 2 years ago, and missed. Now game 1 he missed game 2 because of that.
Yeah, but I've said this every year. Like I feel like I've said it every year. It's like I'm always scared. This year I feel like you can't make the excuse like, oh, Ja got hurt, so we lost. But every year prior to this, we have not been able to totally accept full responsibility because every time we get booed in the playoff, we say, if Ja Morant didn't get hurt, we would have won. If Ja Morant didn't get hurt, we would have won. If Ja Morant didn't get hurt, we would have won. Not this year.
Or the Lakers series was more of the off the court stuff, maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, even then, like
even then, it was him. He got hurt game 1, but even then, I thought that Steven Adams, Brandon Clark really affected them.
Right. No, I mean, there's plenty to go around. I mean, if you want, we could write a book on injuries. But
hey, to that point though, when you watch other teams, I'm like, everybody mostly like when I watched Minnesota and Lakers yesterday, I was like, is anybody even hurt from these teams? Like, most teams who make it far, they're healthy. Maybe they may have one person in the rotation missing.
Listen, and I know that it's flukes, like, but you see people taking hard fouls in the playoff. This is playoff basketball. You have to start asking the question: is he capable of not getting
with his playing style? Yeah, with his playing style.
But and you know what? He's the kind of player though. He's not remotely close to a superstar if he's not doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
I mean, and so can he do that, do what he needs to do and not get hurt? Like, I don't know. Maybe anabolic steroids is an option we could think about, but I don't know. I don't know. I think it's fair to ask the question. That's all I'm saying.
It's tough because he's just, I don't want to say sleight of frame, but like when he fell in game 3, he's just kind of skinny. Like he's built a lot like me, like when he falls. Yes.
This is my point.
Yeah.
Hey,
Derrick Rose changed his play style. He also didn't have any knees, which is totally different.
He had significant injury.
Different.
Yeah.
I would say, luckily,
Derrick Rose changed his play style and became a much less player. And also, he didn't have any knees.
Yeah. So luckily, Ja has avoided that. He has avoided a major injury. But to your point,
you're talking about like these teams that are going far in the playoffs. Paris, I think that's really great. You look at Minnesota. I think is a great example because they have their superstar. The rest of that roster is made up of dudes. One, there's no youth on that roster. If you notice, any young guys are not getting any run. Dillingham, who they traded a lot of stuff for, is not playing. They've got their 8 dudes. They're not playing any more than 8. And each one of those dudes, I was looking through Minnesota's roster the other day. I think I would take, except maybe Mike Conley, all of their rotation. I think those dudes play ahead of most of our team. Same with Oklahoma City Thunder. Like it's just, they're full of guys who they.
Oh, I was about to say also the Lakers played they played all their guys. They played 5 players the whole second half. They lost, but
they
rolled with their best players for a whole half. Said
they roll with
that game.
And granted, part of that is like who are at this point, it's like, who are the 5 players that you want to play in a do or die game without Ja? It's like you got Dez, you got Tripp, and you got Pip. And even then, do you want to play Dez? Do you feel confident playing Dez after what you've seen this series? It's like
you don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice in who you had to play. And the horses that you had to send to this race just weren't good enough than everybody else's horses.
This is what I said. I posed this to Buckets on our show on Thursday. If you've got to pick 5 guys to reserve for a expansion draft, you reserve your 5 guys. We recorded this on Wednesday, by the way, so we were the first one to have this segment this year. But we had, if you had to reserve 5 guys, who would they be? I mean, I'm taking the big 3. Who do you take?
I would put Jalen in there.
Jalen
probably.
Williams.
I'd
say Zach. I was gonna say Zach Eaton. I think the starting 5 numbers wise, when they rarely played, right? But that starting 5 was like.
But I like, man. But can I pick Pip?
And this is what I tell Zach Kleiman: like, anybody's available. I will not lose sleep over anybody that gets traded off this team outside of the big 3. I'm done waiting on Gigi. I'm done waiting on Vince. I'm done waiting. If you want to pick 1 or 2 and let them have some time to develop, fine. You can keep Gigi and Jalen. But I don't want any part of any player who has a projected peak 3 years down the road. Go get me somebody that can play now, because everybody talks about shortening your window or whatever. Like, you want the Grizzlies has an infinite window because of all these young players. Like, your window, the only window that matters, and it is the Ja Morant's window. And as long as he's on this team and the big 3's on this team, it don't matter who you put around him. The window's open. You've just got to, and if you swing and miss by making a trade and getting rid of some of these young subpar players, and the guy you bring back doesn't work out, then fine. Just go do it again next year. Like, show something. Show some drive.
Yeah. Show something. I like that. Parrish, before we get you out of here, any last thoughts before we get you out of here, brother?
Not much, man. It's off season. Kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know. Very deflating into the season. It is what it is.
It is what it is, and it ain't great. But you know what? I'm excited. I'm intrigued by this offseason more so than there's a lot that I want to see change, and we'll see what Kleiman can do. Thank you for joining us this morning, brother. I know you're working, so we'll get you out of here, but we will see you later this week, and you have a good rest of your day. Okay.
All right. Y'all too, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah. We will be right back after this quick break.
Tune in to the 2 Buck Sports Show with Rusty Witten and Drew Gann every Tuesday and Thursday live at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
And I'm back, and I did it right. Yes.
Boy, you're getting good at this.
I'm getting good at that now. It's just click, click, click. I don't panic. Everything's great. Let's do the rest of these playoff series rapid fire really quick, because there's been a lot of games since we've last talked. So let's do with the Western Conference first. Nuggets Clippers, one of the wildest endings to a game I've seen in a long time. Kind of awesome. Aaron Gordon with that putback with what? Great. And I love Joker was like, it was a bad play. I wasn't trying to pass it to him. I was trying to make a shot. I think that's hilarious. It's like
he could do no wrong.
Nope,
can he?
Nope. It's like, of course.
Real quickly on that one.
Yeah.
Nobody benefits from this series more than Oklahoma City.
Yep.
Because the Clippers should have swept them. You got the Russ Eve from losing game 1, and then that from losing game 2. Like, the Clippers are better, but listen, the rabbit's foot's real with Denver right now. And, they're going back to LA now. No. Who's the higher seed in that?
They are. They're going back to Denver.
They're going back to Denver now. So they stole one.
They're the 4-5.
Yeah. So, yeah. The Oklahoma City is wanting this to go as long as possible, because I do believe that the biggest threat to Oklahoma City is the Clippers.
I agree. I agree with you, and it's so funny that this series is going to go 7. It might go 7. It's like, oh my God, are you kidding? The other game, well, there's 2 other games. Warriors Rockets is frustrating because Houston just needed to beat them without Jimmy Butler, and they couldn't do it, and it just frustrates me. I'm like, oh my God, the Warriors are going to walk into the second round. It's going to frustrate the hell out of me.
Yeah, and you know why it's frustrating?
Because we could have had that.
Grizzlies would have put up a massive fight against Houston.
Yep.
This Houston team's just not ready yet, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
The Grizzlies do this back-to-back years as a 2 seed.
Yes.
They're just not ready, and it's no shot at Houston. But this Warriors team has 4 titles.
Yeah.
They have Steph Curry, and Steve Curry has been there the whole way. Like, it's just about, playoff medal.
Yep.
And
continuity.
Golden State has it in spades.
Yep. This last game in the Western Conference, Lakers Timberwolves, man, I'm loving this series. The fact that the T-Wolves are up 3-1 is awesome. I don't know why I love it so much. I just think it's going to be hilarious that after all this, that LeBron and Luka aren't going to advance. I don't know why that cracks me up.
I don't know.
I guess I'm burying them already.
Well, no, I thought this would be the most competitive series, so I am surprised that Minnesota's up 3-1. But tell me, I may be on an island here as the only Grizzlies fan. I've kind of rooted for LA through this.
Really?
I have held so much resentment at Dallas for trading Luka.
Oh,
and it's almost made me the biggest Luka Doncic fan for this year. I want Nico Harrison to have the worst offseason possible. And so I find myself being like, and I'm not rooting for Rudy Gobert and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Like, I'm not doing that. So, I mean, it's like the perfect matchup, I guess, for me to root for the Lakers. And it's really just, it has nothing to do. Like, I still hate the Lakers. Like, I still root against LeBron. But I just really want Luka to, and I want him to do it this year.
You don't want it to happen in the future.
Post LeBron or anything like that. I want him to do it this year because of what it would do to Nico Harrison. They don't make the playoffs. And y'all can tell me in the comments if anybody agrees with me. That's just kind of, I didn't try to be this way. Trust me, I don't like it. I just feel it.
I don't like it. Oh, I forgot about the Rudy Gobert piece. That's a good point. It's really hard to root for that man.
And I love Anthony Edwards. I do. I loved him just going full sumo wrestler on LeBron last night and just pushing. And LeBron ain't built for dealing with Anthony Edwards. Who'd have thought we'd have said that?
He's built for a lot, but he is not built for this version of Anthony Edwards. This version is fun and good. Let's move over to the East Side, Eastern Conference. I don't know. Knicks Pistons, man, this series. I really want the Pistons.
We talk about scars. This is perfect.
Perfect.
They are in it every game. It is a war. That last game was 95, 93 or something like that?
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like Ben Wallace was playing for the Pistons.
Yep. It's been awesome to watch this series. What was that score? 94-93. You nailed it exactly. It's crazy.
I love the Pistons going forward. I do. And
they're in a great spot.
Look, Zach Kleiman, you want to model after somebody? Look at what Trajan Langdon has done for Detroit. All they did was get a healthy Cade Cunningham and add in 3 players that nobody else really wanted. Nobody
Hardaway,
had a worse Q rating than Tobias Harris.
Tobias Harris, Hardaway, and Malik Beasley.
Afterthoughts.
Yep.
Tobias Harris was laughed at for 5 years as the worst contract in the NBA.
Yep. He became a punchline where it was like, oh, Tobias Harris is still out there playing.
Right. So they're going to be, this is the scars that you want, not the scars the Grizzlies got. This is the scars you want.
When people say playoff scars, they mean this, and they're getting some hell of playoff scars. Heat Cavs.
It's inevitable.
1-8. It's the 1-8 like the West Coast, except this is the
Heat got a game.
That's
what you can ask for. Game 3 at home, which is always the recipe. It was the Grizzlies' recipe too, but Ja went out, or they would have won that game. I mean, I hadn't talked to you about this yet, but that 26-point, it was towards the end of it. I was just laughing and crying and saying, I was like, "Oh, this is
laughing and crying.
This is just great."
Yeah, Man, I've experienced a lot of emotions over the course of the last 2 games. It was not fun.
Our boy Daniel Greer. I don't know if you've seen somebody clipped his 901 post-game show where he said somebody needs to push SGA and injure him. Push him out of the air now. An eye for an eye is what he said.
Oh God.
Post game. And some OKC fan clipped it and tweeted out. And it had hundreds of just hate on Twitter. It was hysterical.
Love it. I did not see that. That's funny. The other series going on in the Eastern Conference that it's kind of a bummer too. You want to talk about a bummer series. Pacers, Bucks. Looks like Dame tore his Achilles.
Oh, is that what it was?
It looks like he tore his Achilles yesterday, dude. And
I saw that he just got down.
Looks like
and when any player just doesn't get up like that, it's just like it's weird. Because that's what Brandon did. He kind of he started running and he hit the ground. It was just kind of like, okay, well, you get up, you try it, and it's like, no, this is bad. Now, he just sit down.
Yep. I'm not a doctor. I've played one once before in a play. I think Rusty's the doctor. I think it.
Dr. Kevorkian?
Dr. Jesus. Is
that who you played?
I can neither confirm nor deny that. The Dr. Kevorkian.
Dr. Jekyll?
Oh, I can do that and put my hat down. I just feel bad for the Bucks, man. Dame's got if Dame's out with a ruptured Achilles, Giannis is going to want out of there. Giannis is close to averaging 40 behind, baby. Giannis is averaging, you could tell me Giannis is averaging 40, 10, and 8 in this series. And I'd be like, oh, cool, the Pacers are still winning. He's got nothing. He's got nothing.
No,
so bad for him.
Props to the Pacers.
Yeah, props to the Pacers.
They're devastating offensively, and they have been all year long. And just like Memphis, actually probably less than Memphis, respect that they get league-wide.
Oh, yeah.
Because, at least we've got Ja. The league, they voted him the most overrated player. Talking about Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
Everybody hates Tyrese Halliburton.
It's real weird.
2 years in a row, they're going to be in the second round this year. They were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, and both years they beat the Bucks, and then last year they beat the Knicks. I don't know. So that's going to be
who do they got this year? Yeah,
4-5 matchup there.
Will they have Knicks Pistons again? No, they're 4-5. You are right. They're 4-4.
No, so they'll go up against the Cavs, which is. If you got to pick one, I'd rather go up against the Cavs and the Celtics.
Oh, man, that's good. Cavs-Pacers is going to be a hell of a series.
Yeah.
It's going to be a really good series if that's what we end up getting. Oh, man, now I'm excited for that series. Before we get out of here, let's talk about the weekend, because Mondays are for lasagna around here. We talk about what we like and what we didn't like from the weekend, like Garfield the cat. He loves lasagna. I got it right. And he hates Mondays. So we're talking about what we love and what we hated because it is very important to take the good and the bad. I will go first. My Monday, so what I didn't like, my whole family got to go camping this weekend without me because I had to work. And so I was stuck in the house working from home, watching the Grizzlies lose, just by myself, just grumping and then having to, it's fine. It's just, I like to go camping. And this
I'm going to have to call my sponsor after this one.
I was fine. I was fine. I was real butthurt and had FOMO that I wasn't camping. I'd been planning on doing this for a long time and then found out that there was a mess up and that I just didn't read my schedule right. And so when I thought I was off, I wasn't off. And I was like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. So I was just pissed all weekend. But my lasagna? Yeah, lasagna, the thing I like. I found out I'm starting a new schedule at work this week. I'd been on for the past month, a really crappy schedule at work, 1 to 10 and hours in the morning too. It's been really crappy. So I wasn't getting home till 10 at night. Now I'm firmly just going to be 9 to 6, 9 to 6, 9 to 6, 9 to 6, back to normal 9 to 5. And I'm really excited.
Hey.
I was worried that I was going to have to move my show and everything's fine now. Everything's going to be great moving forward. So just a normal schedule. I'm excited.
That's awesome.
For a normal
9 to
schedule.
6 isn't that bad. You're mostly from home, right?
Yeah. So it's I can do now. Spoiler alert. I can jump on the $2 sports show with you guys now moving forward.
Yes. It seems like now more than ever, we've needed some help, Rusty likes to go on trips.
Thinks he's better than us.
Yeah, he's better than us.
How about you, brother? How was your weekend? Did you have a good one?
It was good. It was good. So I guess let's see, my lasagna. My boys playing ball, and I've turned into the travel ball dad.
Yes.
The good kind, the kind that's just kind of helping and encouraging and not yelling at referees.
At children and referees.
Like, yeah, that's not coming yet. Probably because we're not exactly competitive. So we actually did, have a good game the other day and thought we may get it. Just just a couple mistakes here and there. Got to clean it up. These 8-year-olds, they got to clean it up. No more errors. No more errors. Quit picking dandelions and letting the ball get hit over your head.
Field it.
This is 8U coach pitch. This kid came up and funny. This kid's is on the same team as Gary Parrish's kid. So I was like seeing GP across the way. But my best friend, I met him.
My best friend, Gary Parrish.
This kid he's bigger than me. This is
he's one of them.
8U. This is 8U.
Yeah.
Okay. 9U. This kid's bigger than me. Hits a missile. Opposite field home run. My boy is playing right center.
Oh no.
And he's running and tried to catch it. And then he just gets to the fence and it goes over and he just looks and he's like, what do I do now? I was like, nothing.
What do I do, Dad?
and all the boys come off the field when they got their third out or whatever. And we all always huddle up, tell who's going to bat next, whatever. And everybody was like, that was awesome. Like, no, it wasn't.
Shut up. Shut up.
Take a lap.
Take a lap. Make them run lap.
That wasn't the lasagna, though. The lasagna was about 90 degrees. And we roll 6 deep everywhere we go.
6 deep in a Honda Odyssey.
In a Honda Odyssey. We had a cousin with us as well. So we had 5 kids with us. At some point, what's the difference?
Yeah, 5 and 6, you're just apples and oranges.
But it was so hot. And I don't know if you know this about baseball stadiums. There's no trees for shade at all. Nope. And so in between the the second and third game, I guess, my wife just looks at me and she was just like, we'd had to come in separate cars for something else, other obligations in the morning. She was like, listen, I'm out. It says all the 3 girls, the other 3 are all girls, and then we got the baby boy.
Yeah.
They're just like sweating and hot, and they've asked for 18 drinks, and they're miserable. Said, I'm just going home. Like, it's not like I want to stay and watch the game, but
not that bad.
I got a 3-year-old that wants to run into traffic and a 1-year-old that wants to drink out of everybody's drinks. Like, it's not fun. So, if you know anybody that wants to babysit in the Northeast Mississippi area on Saturdays for us to go and be supportive parents, both of us, holler at your boy.
Oh man, I love it. That's gonna do it for our show today. If you need a baby, support Uncle Buck's babysitting. I was gonna say I'll come down and I'll come babysit, but I don't want to.
They're good kids. They're good kids.
It's just you said that's a lot.
90 degrees.
90, dude, and also 90 degrees. We're the same. If it gets above 85, I turn into a different person.
Oh no, I love it. I love the hot.
I sweat too much. I sweat too much. People are
like
like
pool. That all baseball complexes that host travel ball tournaments need a splash pad. Boy, when I'm president, this world is going to be amazing.
It's going to be great. Vote Uncle Buck for president. We will be back tomorrow, everybody. Thank you for watching the show today. If we can leave you with anything other than to be happy. Season's over, but we can still be happy. Be happy.
The best time of the season.
Best time of the year, man. If we can leave you with anything, remember to be a little weird today and remember to smile. Bye, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good Monday.